Hi everyone, my name is Sakura and today we're making artichokes. It's my first video and I've already messed up. So the very beginning I was showing you how to make an artichoke, and for some reason when I edit it I deleted the first part. So I apologize, I will do better on my next video. So you'll see a little bit afterwards of how I prepared the artichoke, and I already started cutting the artichoke. But I just want to give a little tidbit. Before you cut off the stem of the artichoke, I would take off all the leaves off the stem, so this way you have something to hold on to when you are using the scissors to cut off the tip of each leaf. Make sure you don't do the very top of the artichoke because you're going to cut that off. Okay, so I've trimmed around the artichoke. If any of you are wondering, I did not do the top part because we're actually going to cut it off. So save some headache and time. So I'm going to cut off the stem, and be careful not to cut off too much because this is where the heart of the artichoke is. Probably the best part of the artichoke is in there. And when you open it up, it actually looks like a flower. So it's really cool. Now, when you cut them, if this is a baby artichoke, so it's much smaller, you're actually going to cut off just the tip, so a third of the artichoke. Kind of up to the last leaf of where you cut it. It is a little tight, so you need some muscle with this. Literally gonna cut it off, and now if you look, it looks like a flower. Very pretty. So now this is the easiest part. You're gonna just open it up because you want all that good stuff. They kind of sound like squeaky wind boots. We're going to just open these up because the more you open these up, be careful not to snap the leaves off because this is where all of your breadcrumbs and whatnot, that's where they're going to be. So these leaves are going to hold most of the goodness in there. Literally, you're going to just open it up like that. That's what it's going to look like. Now, when you cook this, the center, some people like to take the center out. I like to keep it in. But for one of them, I will show you what it looks like without the center. So I just open up the whole entire thing. And when you look at it, baby artichokes are a little bit more difficult. It looks like a flower. Isn't it pretty? Now be careful, there are little like thorns in there, so be careful. But I don't know if you can see it. Right in there, that's where the heart of the artichoke is. And that's going to become nice and tender. You can see the bottom here, nice and tender. And you can eat that whole entire piece. Later in the video, I will show you how to properly eat an artichoke. You do not want to eat any of these leaves whole. Could cause your stomach to get a stomach ache after a while. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now we're up to the stuffing part. I have a couple of things so you could get prepared. Olive oil, extra virgin. Of course, your 2 artichokes. You could do more than 2, depending. I'm just doing 2. You need a sheet, cookie sheet, tin foil, or parchment paper, whichever one you choose. I prefer doing tin foil, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm using garlic. I'm also using plain breadcrumbs. I season my own breadcrumbs, and you could do Italian seasoning. You could buy seasoned breadcrumbs depending on how easy, or put your own twist to it, whatever you would like to do. That's your choice. Now, basically, the other one I didn't show you, sometimes the inside is purple. It's a flower. They have different colors. Don't be alarmed. Just flush this out a little bit. Okay. So now, of course, you want to take your garlic. I have this really neat gadget that I'm going to show you of how to mince your garlic. And then I'll show you exactly how I season my breadcrumbs. I hope you're liking the video so far. Okay. And now, because I have a very tiny kitchen, a cutting board kind of takes space. So you need to be smart with how you utilize your space. So let me go grab my little gadget. Okay. I love this thing. So it's by Chefin, and it's really cute. It looks like a little one-man carriage. So there's two parts. I'm going to open up the whole thing so you see it. There's a little compartment. You have a very sharp blade that fits right in here. You're going to shut it. That's how you clean it, by the way. The whole part comes off. Then there's a smaller compartment, so this way the blade doesn't come out. And this is where you're actually going to stick the whole garlic, the whole clove. You're going to stick it in there, the whole thing. Now this one's a fat guy, so we're just going to do this one first. And then you simply, you're going to love this. Just look at this. I have hardly no space. You're simply going to roll it on your counter. Roll it. Ready? I'm mincing garlic right now. And that's about it. Voila. Look at this. Minced garlic. Now, if you like garlic as much as I like garlic, one is not enough. So you could put a couple more in. So some of you are like, oh, what if you stick two, like I did? Hold on tight. Now, the more you stuff in there, it gets a little bit more difficult to mince. But with a little bit of force and muscle, just do this a couple of times. And I love that I could go and watch TV and be like, oh, give this to my husband and say, can you mince garlic for me? And then he's like, okay, honey. Voila, done. So now, the nice thing about this is that I don't need to use this right away because I don't need it right now. So it could just sit right there until I need it. So that's the wonderful thing about that gadget. So now onto the fun stuff. So what I'm going to do, we're just your average breadcrumbs. Put in a small bowl. Don't go too heavy because you don't know how much breadcrumbs will be able to stuff into the artichoke. If you want to not get your hands messy, you can use a spoon. That's cheating, but you can use a spoon. I'm going to grab my Italian seasoning. Lovely Italian seasoning. Literally Italian seasoning. And I'm just going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I put 17 because 17th is the day of my birth. Figure that's a good number. And you'll mix it up a little bit. Okay. A little bit of olive oil in there. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times around, and then you're going to mix it, okay? So it gets a little bit, you need a little bit of moisture in there. It's going to get a little clumpy, and I will show you what it looks like. So it's a little clumpy, just a little bit of moisture. You don't want it too oily because we're going to put more olive oil on top while it cooks, okay? So now literally we stuff the artichoke, and that's why you have tin foil already down, because it's going to be a little bit messy. So I like to have breadcrumb in every bite. So I'm kind of just mixing it around. Now it's breadcrumby. So the amount that I put was pretty much just enough for 1 artichoke. So now I'm going to go do the same process over again. And I put 17, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. Mix that up. Don't worry, I did not forget about the garlic this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a little bit more oil in this guy. Just to show you that if for some reason you're like, oh shoot, I put too much oil, just put a little bit more breadcrumb in it. Okay, so, but this actually isn't that bad. I think yeah, this isn't bad. So you can see it's a little oily, not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna stuff this guy, because this is going to be appetizers for tonight's leftover dinner of baked ziti that my husband made. Very Italian. I think my next video I'll do a Japanese dish, one of my favorites, or my husband's favorite. It's called gyudon. It's beef bowl, and I'll show you how to make that. That one's also pretty easy. I think it's a little bit difficult the first time you make any recipe, to be honest, because it's all new. But with practice and some time, it will become very easy, and I will be there every step of the way. And you can always rewatch the video and do it with me in time. Okay. All right. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, why didn't you mix the garlic with the breadcrumb? Either way is fine. I like the garlic on top. But this is what I also do. I also wrap the artichoke in tin foil. Okay, so now we're on to our final stage. I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. You could do 425 depending. I like to slow cook mine. Now for the yummy part, the garlic. Oh, apparently I didn't mince well enough. That's okay. If you don't want to mince your garlic, you could put the whole garlic clove in there. There are some people who like to eat the whole entire garlic clove, and that is fine too. So be very careful with this little gadget. I like to take the whole blade out first and then shut it, and then this way I can stick my finger in there and then drizzle it on top without the fear of cutting my finger. So now all I'm doing is I'm taking the garlic and I'm just drizzling this guy, stuffing it a little bit here and there. Oh, this guy didn't get cut. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. I'll put a little bit of garlic in there. I might need to chop up some more garlic. I did 3. That's 1. Chop this guy up again because he didn't get chopped up. If you can't tell, I'm a very messy cook. Okay. Chopped up some more garlic. Okay. This guy did not, oh, he's good. Okay. Stuff him. Now the first time I've ever made artichoke, it didn't come out that great. So you gotta kind of experiment on it. Artichoke, I got baby artichoke. So, you know, these were like $1 each. So if you don't want to spend too much and you want to try it, I would suggest getting the baby artichoke and trying it out, and seeing how much you want to commit to it. So you could do that too. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to wash my hands now because I'm all gross. I have Himalayan pink salt, delicious. Gotta have a little bit of salt to just salt it on top. These smell delicious already. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap one so you can see the difference when I cook it. So for those of you who are deciding, oh, I don't want to wrap it, or I do want to wrap it. Okay. Oh, look at me. I totally forgot. Make sure, this is why you didn't want to over oil your breadcrumbs. You were actually going to drizzle some more olive oil on top of your artichoke. So I just drizzle a little bit on both. That's why wrapping your artichoke might be better to kind of keep everything together. But either way is fine. And then that's it. And then in about 30-40 minutes, depending on how long you want to cook it for. Typically, I like to, you'll see it kind of open like a flower more so. And throughout the video, you'll see I'll take some the difference of what it looks like done, so you know what to look out for when you are cooking this. Most recipes that I've seen for artichoke requires 40 minutes, around 400 degrees. So if you're going to do 425, you might want to do it for 35 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how your oven works. So, and that's it. Okay, let's go check on our artichoke. Alexa, how much time do we have on the timer?
You have 18 minutes left on your 35-minute timer.
All right, Alexa. A little light here. Oh, baby. Look at those artichokes. Let me make sure I don't burn myself. Grab my handy-dandy mitten. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. So now you can kind of see. Let me get a fork. Forky fork. can kind of see how it looks right now. Yummies. The leaves will look a little wet and soft. You want that. When you push it, you see how I'm pushing it here? It's still a little hard, so it's going to need that extra 18 minutes. But I won't show you what the wrapped one looks like until the very, very end. Okay, now I'm going to eat the artichoke. It looks so yummy. So if you know that if it's done, the leaf should automatically fall off the artichoke. You shouldn't be fighting with it. So if you just pull on the leaf, it should come off. Okay. Now if you look at it, the very bottom is what you eat. It's the meaty part. And you're literally, kind of like a spoon. You're going to take your teeth and you're going to scrape the meat out. And that's what it is. And what you're supposed to do is you eat the breadcrumbs with it. And I kind of wish you were here to try this. But at the same time, I'm glad you're not, because this is all mine. Now, what would really taste good with this, if people like the zing, you could put a little bit of lemon juice on it. And that would taste really good. And just be careful that you wait long enough for it to cool down, or else you will burn the roof of your mouth, and that's not fun. So I'm gonna just show you, because some of you are impatient and I'm impatient, the very best part of the artichoke. And I'm literally dissecting this guy, and it's super hot. Hot. See, leaf falling off means it's done. Now, like I said before, you can cut the center out to make it easier. I like to keep it on, keep the center in. Hot. I need a fork. Can you hand me a fork? Okay. Dissect this. Okay. It looks kind of funky, and I didn't want to do the work. Doing a little lazy. It looks like a flower. See? And basically, if you flip it over, that's where the heart is, and that's the juiciest part of the artichoke. All right, so enjoy, don't burn yourself, and have fun. Bye.